expectations. I can't sit around knowing it is for the taking. I've got worlds to see. Fuck the patience. If you think that I'm gonna let it slip, then you're mistaken. Cause I have to exceed expectations. Know my family's waiting. Know these people hating. Want me to succeed. I am not complacent. I'm forever changing. We don't want the same shit. It's just one P to Z. That is I, and I am never satisfied. People trying to steal the dream, keep it classified. Till I do it and they shut up like a pacifier. Till they look up and I'm chilling with a satellite.
Oh, goodness. Has it been a week?
Goodness gracious.
It's almost been a week. So yeah, we're back. Are you happy?
I'm happy.
I'm happy too. I'm actually really happy because we were able to finally reel us a big marlin.
Oh Jesus!
What is that? Is YouTube trying to take over?
I don't know what happened.
What is that, Ryan?
What? I don't know why did it do that?
Guys, right now, real quick, this is our promo to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Apparently, we're advertising for YouTube right now. Okay, that's what it is. I don't know why that's. There we go. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. It wouldn't be our show if we didn't have technical issues.
Right. So we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. Everyone, this is the beard gang right here. We got part of the beard. I love the signature beard of WF Bell.
Agreed.
It's
badass.
I even made sure when I promoted for this, I put beard gang.
Did you really?
I did. I put beard gang because he looks like he's how long has the beard been a part of the facade? How long you had that for?
Oh, the last time I shaved was October 12th, 2012, man.
Okay, so the beard's been there.
I nailed it down to the date.
Yeah, so, you're not keeping track or anything.
Yeah, who's counting?
Well, that was the last day I was in a military uniform, and that was the last day I was actually required to shave. So, yeah, I tossed that nice, pretty little Mach 3 razor right in the campfire and chugged another beer.
Very nice. So,
yeah.
Is this now? Obviously, the gray in the middle, right? Is this something you do, or is that just natural the way it is?
That's natural, brother.
That is awesome.
That skunk stripe is natural.
Skunk stripe,
very
like
nice.
That.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, it could pick you out of a crowd just based on that.
That's my hot spot, man.
Right.
That's my go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I like it.
It definitely makes you stand out. It's like your signature, you know.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, he's the bearded savior. You know, like.
Yeah.
Well, there's a shitload of them with beards, though.
Yeah, but not like that.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah. You own that. Own that.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you.
I try. It's a lot. You know, it's hard damn work looking like that. You know what I mean?
For those of you who don't know, William is a savior, and I'm sure that you're here because you already do know that. But I'll just make it, make that statement there for everybody. He's on that TV show that we all like to watch on Sunday nights. Part of the Walking Dead family.
Yes.
So you're here to talk it up with us. Let us know maybe what you've been doing, what's going on, how things been. You were down in Sonoya. You got to enjoy that event with everybody. A bunch of people that were there.
Yes.
How was that experience for you? How did that compare to any other, con or anything you've ever been to?
It was awesome, man. That was the first event that I've been to that was Walking Dead centric. So,
right.
Everybody there was, obviously very enthusiastic about the show. Other events I've done it's been more or less Comic Cons. Mm-hmm. So there's multiple genres there, but this one was the first one that I actually attended that was solely focused on The Walking Dead. I mean, I tell you, it was a great experience, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody was awesome. I was really shocked at how far people traveled to be a part of it. Well, you drove down there, right, from New York?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So holy crap, man, that's a haul in itself. And
yeah. Yeah.
People from Arkansas, Texas, you know. Met some folks from England that flew in, Canada.
Yeah. There was people there from the UK, which is just mind-blowing.
And I only met like a handful of people from Georgia, you know, as far as fans go, but the rest of them were from everywhere. So that's awesome to me. It's cool the way, you know, the show, you know, really unites people.
Right. Yeah.
People you never meet any other way.
It's true.
So, yeah, it was awesome, man. Loved it.
Yeah, and I mean, I always tell everybody who asks me about it, it was there's one word. It was intimate. It was not like any other con or anything like that. It was intimate. You had one-on-ones. You know, you were with this person that, you know, you watch every week. You were with them. That's the only other way, you know, intimate, and you were there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I loved it, and I hope it continues to grow. And you know, we see it repeat itself, and each year that would be awesome.
Yeah. I'm hoping it would be great to have like an annual event there every year.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, then
Ryan, you need to get down there next time, there, Hoss.
I'm hoping. I really am. It was.
We'll miss you there, bud.
It was just pure. Yeah. Life just not agreeing with me.
That was dumb luck. That was dumb luck.
It was, and especially because the wedding that I was in happened to be at the exact same time as the Sonoya Dead Bash on the same exact day on the same exact weekend. So it's, you know, it was really just a
dumb luck.
Should have brought him down. We could have had a hell of an event. We could have done the wedding and the event.
You know what's funny about that too? The two people that I'm friends with that I was in their wedding, they're huge Walking Dead fans. And so actually for their wedding, I gave them the Chicago Walker Stalker poster that has us in it as zombies with Cooper Andrews killing us.
Yeah.
And
nice.
I gave them a piece of art that I got from Rachel, who is a very talented. She does the Disney characters of Walking Dead characters and stuff.
Yep.
I gave her a poster that I bought.
Oh, have you seen any of Rachel's work?
I think so. Her stuff is on social media and stuff, right?
Yeah, she did the one really cool piece of Jason Warner Smith and Josh Michael of them together, and it was actually really, really cool looking. And I ended up giving that to them, as well as a poster of the Hilltop Crew, and that was part of their wedding present from me, and they friggin' went nuts. So I was like, why don't we just do the wedding in Sonoya, Georgia?
I mean,
yeah, exactly, man. That would've been awesome.
If we would have timed it perfectly, Father Gabriel could have done the ceremony. Before he went back to...
There.
He was.
That would have been amazing.
I must have walked right by him, man. I didn't get a chance to speak with him.
Oh, he was there briefly. You know, he checked in, you know, did some helping out here and there with some people, you know, some of his people, and then he had to get back up here, actually, to New York.
Okay.
I would be lying to you if I told you I did not research flights. How much time it would take for me to get from where we live to the city where the closest airport is.
Yeah.
And and saying if I could be like, Chris, I need you to pick me up at you know, the airport and get me, you know, to the veranda.
Yeah.
I was trying very hard to make it work.
I hear you, man. Well, next year, bud.
Yeah.
But there's always hopefully they'll be next year, and yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll happen. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm optimistic.
We'll have a do-over or a repeat, whatever you want to call it.
There you go. Yeah.
An encore.
Yes, an encore.
Yeah.
So, give us a little bit of you know, info on you. So when did the whole, you know, step into the acting thing start? What was the, you know, the itch to get into it?
The jump off point.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, I mean, I've said in other interviews, you know, I grew up as a horror fan. I was pretty much hooked from the time I was 5 years old.
Yep.
You know, I think The Exorcist was on TV, and I was kind of hiding behind the couch. My folks didn't know I was up, and I was just kind of watching it, and it intrigued me, man, that, you know, scary stuff was cool. And I've always just been interested in movies and television in general. I mean, I love Westerns as well. That's like my second favorite genre behind horror.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've always had this, you know, bucket list item of, you know, I'd love to be in a horror film or any film for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but where I lived at the time, I'm from a small town in Florida called Lake City. It's about halfway between Tallahassee and Jacksonville.
Okay.
And there's not much that goes on there. Nothing wrong with that. But as far as like industry type stuff, there's not much that happens that way. So I did 20 years in the Air Force. Retired in 2012.
Oh.
And I was doing some work up in North Carolina around in 2014. And one of my friends that knows I'm a huge horror fan, she was like, "Hey, have you seen this thing that Rob Zombie's doing? He's crowdsourcing 31." And I was like, "I don't even know what that means," and I didn't at the time. I kind of did research on it, and you had this perk that you could be like an extra in his movie, and I was like, "Well, man, I've never heard of anything like this, and this might be my only chance to do it." So with the help of a lot of friends and family, they helped me raise the money to go be able to do that.
Wow.
So I flew out to California, March of 2015, and within about 20 minutes of he and I meeting, he asked me how long I was in town for, and I told him, well, I'm flying back to Georgia on a red-eye Saturday night. So he says, well, we're doing a pretty intense scene tomorrow night, and we need another big guy for our goon squad there. And he said, if we can get wardrobe to set you up, would you be willing to come out and work with us? And I was like, well, yeah, I was going to ask if you need any help on set anyway. So, keeping a lid on it was pretty hard, man, because I've been a fan of him since high school. I got him standing there in front of me, asking me to come out and work with him again, man. On the inside, I was doing the Beavis and Butthead, and that's what I got credited for, because there was stunt work associated with that scene.
Yep.
And, I got to roll up one of his main actors, and that was a full-blown tussle. That guy was really damn strong. So that was my indoctrination into the industry, and that kind of hooked me into wanting to pursue more. So, and we had moved down to Georgia, and I just started applying for different things. And Walking Dead was one of those things I was definitely interested in, because it kind of falls into that horror realm. Mm-hmm. So, I just kept applying, and I finally got picked up, and it's you guys have seen the rest up until this point.
Yeah. So, let's go back to Rob Zombie, and we have a bunch of people. We have actually quite a few questions. A lot of people want to know what that experience was like working with Rob Zombie. Because he makes these, he directs these movies, right? I mean, these are his.
Absolutely.
These are his. So for a lot of people who don't know, Rob Zombie is like the maker of these films. It's not just his name on it or he's starring in it. This is his stuff. So
he's one of the fathers of the horror genre.
Yeah, and I mean, not for nothing. When I was in my 20s, some of the best music to lift to. I love going to the gym and lifting to his music.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man! I throw on Super Beast and I crank it out, dude.
Yeah.
His soundtrack still grace my iPod.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That gets me pumped up, dude. I told him that, too, when I was out on set. He was like, that's awesome.
How is he to work with, to work for? I mean, is he
as cool as he seems?
Yeah, is he,
Yes, and yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, when you meet him, he talks to you like he's known you about 20 years. Nice. I mean, there's nothing weird about it, or he just rolls up. Hey, how's it going? He's very friendly, very down to earth.
Yeah.
He's also very. You can tell his mind's going about 1,000 miles an hour as he's watching stuff.
Right.
And putting it together and doing everything. There for a little bit, they gave me the headset so I could listen to see what he was saying to the main actors and stuff, and it was. He definitely has a vision as far as where he wants to take each and every scene. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, just getting to hear that and see that and experience it. I think he kind of spoiled me, though, when it comes to, working for directors, because he was so awesome. Because you get to other productions, then they might not operate quite like him.
Right.
Which is fine. Nobody's going to be the same. But, he's probably the coolest one besides, obviously our good folks out on Walking Dead to work with.
That's cool.
So definitely a very favorable experience for me. Definitely something I'll never forget. And I would love to work for him again. So anybody from Team Rob Zombie, if you're watching this, here I am.
And I mean, and that was a credited role for you, right? I mean,
yes, it was.
So that looks great on a resume.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. Very good, man. As far as what you did, and for maybe the people who haven't seen the movie or anything like that, and you want to build some intrigue for them to go watch it. The movie came out, was it 2016? Was it 2016?
Yeah, it came out at the end of 2016. They did like a limited theatrical release in like September 2016.
Okay. Right.
Then I think it came out on like DVD and like the on-demand, like Amazon Prime and all that stuff in December. So
okay. So,
it was kind of a weird thing the way they promoted it, but yeah, end of 2016. That's the easiest answer. So
okay. So it's been out for a little while. So I mean, for anybody who loves that type of stuff, I mean, what could you give them about it to give them that extra push to go check it out?
Well, if you're familiar with any of his other movies, I mean, you know what you're going to get. You know, it's pretty in your face, very 70s style grindhouse.
Yep.
You know, there's no stone left unturned. He's coming for you. You know, in his storytelling. So, that scene that I was credited in, it got pretty violent. We got a little got to dispose of some folks and kidnap some folks, and it was a good time.
Yeah.
And then the villains throughout the film, they were especially interesting. So he's got a way with bringing characters to life. So yeah, you definitely want to check some of those out.
And I mean, your role, you're classified as like a goon, I guess, right? Were you like a goon or something like that?
Yeah. Essentially, we were. I guess you could kind of like describe them as kind of like the hype squad for the heads.
Okay.
The heads were main villains.
Right.
So yeah, we were kind of we were out to track down who they wanted to run through Murder World. So we kidnapped the ones they wanted and we got rid of the rest. So
very nice. So yeah.
If you guys want to see it, I don't know if you stopped by my table in Sonoy, but I've got a replica of that mask that I had made. You want to check it out? I can step to the side and grab it real quick.
I mean, let's show everybody the mask. Absolutely.
Yeah, I will promote the goon. Give me a second.
Let's go. Get the goon mask. I love it. Oh, it was right there.
Bam.
That's awesome.
This is it.
That's cool.
Wow. That is really cool.
Now picture, 5 other dudes that are bigger than me wearing this shit. And, yeah.
Bigger than you?
What's that?
Did you say they were bigger than you?
Yeah. I was the little one, actually.
Holy
That's
crap.
terrifying.
That's terrifying to know.
We had 6'9", 6'8", 6'6", 6'5", 6'4", and then me at 6'3". So I was the runt goon.
Wow. Now, let me give you guys... if I can find a side-by-side somewhere in the video from Sonoya, but William is a large man. Okay, he is a big dude. So when I first saw him in person, I was like, golly. I was like, yeah, you're definitely. I did like one of them. Them Southerner. Golly, you're big. And
by golly,
yeah. It was like that was like, I see why you're a savior. Yes, I get it now.
So when you say bigger than you, do you mean like Yao Ming?
Yeah,
bigger than
well, height wise.
Yeah,
like
height wise,
you are like. It was kind of like when we met Cooper. Like,
oh yeah, he's a tall, big dude.
Yeah, and like the first time I met Cooper, I was like, "Shit, you're big, man."
Yeah. Yeah, he's a big guy.
But then he's over here telling. It was really funny. It was when we went to Chicago, Walker Stalker. Chris was online for JDM, and he wanted to get his autograph. So I ended up taking a friend of ours, Michelle, a whole lot of crazy with me to go do our photo op with Cooper because it was kind of intersecting. And so I go up and I shook his hand and everything. He's like, "Oh, what's up, bro?" And he's talking to us and everything. He goes, "Where's Chris?" He goes, "I was trying to have an arm wrestling competition with him." He'd kick my ass, but
Yeah, and I'm like, "What do you mean? Are you okay?"
His freaking arms are like this big.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the compliment by all. I mean, but
not complaining.
I wouldn't arm wrestle either one of you, man. My technique sucks, dude. I'd get put down quick, man.
When he swings around that damn axe, I've actually watched some of his training videos, and it's it's with the real axe that he like the real one, probably about the same weight as the sniper rifle you carry. It's got to be upwards of 40 or 50 pounds. I mean, I'd say anywhere from 30 to 50 pound range that probably weighs. And
no, that rifle wasn't that heavy. It was I think because I actually looked up the specs on that thing.
Was it loaded?
Well, I mean, the rifle itself was real, but you know, you got like this leather sling hanging off of it, and it's got the magazine in it and all that good stuff. So I think altogether it was around probably 11 or 12 pounds. But when you're holding that out,
extended, right?
Keeping it level, in 1,142 degree heat, at 1,000% humidity, it starts to, the wear and tear starts to set in a little bit, but that's all right. It looked good.
Yeah, no,
I think that's the biggest thing that people don't understand, and that seems to be the consensus between everybody, no matter what side they are in The Walking Dead, whether it's the Hilltop, the Saviors, whatever. I think that's like the general consensus is that people don't understand that the stuff that you guys are using, the props, are very real.
Yeah.
That you're not using a plastic 3D cutout, gun that's like, weighs as much as a Nerf gun, you know what I mean? And like, we're talking
awesome.
We're talking to when we talked to Peter Zimmerman for the first time, he was explaining to us how they have him in like 4 different layers on the top of the wall at Hilltop, and he's carrying this big ass spear.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, it's not. He goes, it's not like paper mache or styrofoam. He goes, this is a real wooden spear with a metal arrowhead.
Yeah. So and if people want to imagine what it's like to hold something extended out from your body that weighs 12.
It's unnatural.
12 pounds or so.
Your body's not meant to control it.
Yeah. The further away your hands and arms extend from your body, the more strength you take away from your core. Obviously, the closer your arms are to your body, the stronger you are.
Yeah.
So holding that extended like that, I can believe me. I feel your pain.
It was okay for probably the first 6 or 7 takes, man. But then it started to set in, and the burn in the shoulders started to take place, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is going to start getting shaky here soon. So.
And you mentioned you were in the Air Force.
Yes.
For how long?
20 years, 6 months, and 16 days.
Wow.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, it was an awesome career, man. I enjoyed myself. So.
And what brand? I mean, what division of it? I guess were you in?
Oh, like what was my job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had a couple of them actually. You're gonna really like this.
I'm sure I will.
So
I'm already excited.
First 10 years, I was munition systems.
Okay.
Stuff that goes boom pretty big.
Yep.
So ammo, hook. At my 10-year mark, I dropped a package to go special duty, to go be a drill sergeant.
Wow.
So I got to do that for 4 years. I got to yell and scream at some young impressionable minds to get them to act more like me and less like themselves.
Right.
And so they could have a productive career. Then I went back to munitions for 3 years, and then I retrained once again into another job, doing some computer networking stuff, some analysis stuff, so I could eventually get a good job when I got out. So that's what I do now for my day job when I'm not on set somewhere.
So obviously you had plenty of training prior to being on The Walking Dead, holding and dealing with weapons and stuff like that. Did they? I mean, was that ever something you were asked to help implement with other people to help out or anything? Or
no, not really. It's just kind of. I guess just kind of what they need for the scene,
right.
Who they need where type stuff. So, no, they do their own little type of training with them. They're very safety conscious, with the way you hold them and stuff like that. So you're not flagging people and all that. So, they have a certain way that they want to, they want you to conduct yourself while you're armed out there. So, but no, I was never directly asked to help out with that stuff. They've got props people that do that sort of thing. So,
all right.
They do a good job with it.
Well, that's good. I mean, look, a lot of it's gotten better from watching it. I've obviously the training that you've received through the military. I mean, a lot of stuff I did is paramilitary as far as law enforcement side. But, when you watch shows like this, you always want to pay attention to certain things, catching on to how Carl is holding a gun, looking down the barrel with his badge die instead of his good one, stuff like that.
Well, he might have been cross-eyed dominant, too, because that is a thing. When you've got a left-handed shooter.
Yeah, we can make assumptions,
You're right-eye dominant.
I guess.
So,
I mean, there's
that's a read, but I'm trying to help it out here. Work with me, boss. Work with me.
I'm gonna chalk it up to error on their part, but you know, that's just I'm the critic. It's okay, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, the muscle memory is already there, man.
I know.
It'd be hard to catch that little detail. I'm sure. So.
That's exactly what I said. I said, listen, because there's people obviously attack that hard, and I was like, that's a muscle memory thing. You know, if you're right-handed and you're, you know, that's just something that they didn't even bother either noticing themselves or something, you know what I mean? And that's just habit, you know, a creature of habit.
Keep in mind, I mean, he can still see with his left eye. He would have to hold it kind of wonky. So, I mean, I guess I would ask those people, how would they have corrected that error? You know?
True. Yeah. I mean, you're gonna,
you know, I mean, because you can pick apart a million and one things, you know. But I mean, yeah, it looked a little weird, but
I mean,
you know, you're in the damn apocalypse. You're going to try to send lead down ranges any way you can, right? So
I'm actually, you know, obviously like most of the population, most right-hand dominant, but I'm left eye dominant, and I shoot better lefty than I do righty. So I mean, you know, just saying, you know, it does happen. Things like that do happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to mention Strangeland Oddities. They were at Sonoya. They wanted to. I'm going to do a little shout out for them. They reached out to us. You know, we talked stuff like that about, you know, obviously helping each other out, stuff like that. So I just want to do a little shout out for them. And you know, Strangeland Oddities, you know, does a booking and talent management. So you know, anybody out there who's looking to maybe get into it, break into it, or whatever, or whatnot, you know them personally, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually did an interview with him during the bash.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's I posted that on my professional page as well.
Very nice. Yeah, I have to check that out. I've been meaning to you know how crazy life gets. So, and we
I hear you, man.
Look, not for nothing, but I know that we usually say we have a rough week.
This was an understatement if we say it right now. It's We
I-
both work at the same place. We both work as supervisors at a hospital for security, and
Oh wow.
yeah, and it's a psych hospital as well as a regular medical hospital as well as a trauma center.
Yeah.
I got you.
So we kind of get a little bit of everything.
Oh, I believe it. I bet you guys got stories for days, man.
Yeah.
To say that we get a little bit of everything this week, I think we had everything you could imagine.
Yeah, and you know what? If you expand that out in the past 2 weeks, we really kind of had every kind of emergency situation that you could possibly think of, and you know we even had Monday we had a building collapse, like 5 blocks from the hospital, and it was bad. You know, it's to the point where we're an hour and a half, 2 hours north of New York City, and we had FDNY, NYPD, and Yonkers building collapse teams coming up to help our fire departments search for victim.
Yeah,
and
it's bad.
I mean, the call came out around 4 p.m. when we were ending our shift, but Chris was working a double that day.
Yay!
So I ended up going to my doctor's appointment I had to go to, and I told him, I'm like, I'll be on standby. Like, I'll be home, and I could be there in, 15 minutes if I have to. And it was just crazy, and, it was just... I mean, we had helicopters standing by to receive traumas if, God forbid, there was multiple...
It was a very eventful day. But I do want to say that out of that whole disaster... one casualty, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah. Did they figure out what the cause of the collapse was?
It's a very old building.
Yeah.
Building was built in 1911.
Yep.
It's a brick building, and it was under renovation.
And we're also getting really wonky weather that day.
Yeah.
It was really windy. It was just there was a lot of rain.
We got hit with one of those. You ever hear they call them a supercell?
Yes.
So the whole day was beautiful, sunny. Weather was flawless, and literally in the blink of an eye, this developed, blew through a certain area, and winds of excess of over 60, 70 miles an hour.
Yep.
And just blew this building to pieces.
And like Chris said, it came out of nowhere. It wasn't like it built up. And I mean, at my house, which is about 15 minutes from our job, we lost power for half an hour. And I'm like, great, you know, we're never gonna get our power back because Central Hudson, our gas and electric company, is busy dealing with the building collapse. They're not worried about residential.
Yeah, it was,
but you know,
I mean, it's just a very the whole area was just affected badly. But so
well, I'm sorry to hear that, guys. Man, I'm glad that you guys are okay, and I'm sorry for about the news of the casualty. That's bad stuff, man. But, well, hopefully you guys have a better week this week.
Oh, we're trying. Yeah, we're trying.
You know, just a huge shout out to just everybody that dealt with that whole thing. That was just, you know, oh god, it was just crazy. And you know, between everybody at our job that kind of banded together and got done what needed to get done.
Yeah.
And we had trauma doctors from our hospital, including our medical director, who went to the field to go help them.
Mm-hmm.
That was just really cool just to see kind of.
I've only seen that in the movies. Like, that's a TV show thing.
You ever watch the show Night Shift?
No.
It was a hospital, and they fly. It's like in Texas, and they fly out to traumas.
Okay.
And I'd never seen that before until that happened. I was like, oh shit, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
That actually happens.
Well, you know what? Thank you guys and everybody involved in that for their service too, man. I mean, that's big stuff, dude.
It's a good time. It was a very long 16-hour day, but
I hear you, man.
And I mean, you've had some long days yourself these past few weeks, right?
Pretty long.
You've been putting in some time. It's taken us about I don't know, 6 weeks to get you on here with everything bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, I think we had a couple of reschedules or something like that.
Yeah. So we're very, very happy that you're here.
Man.
So
definitely.
we're gonna start with some viewer questions.
Okay.
Jeannie and Nick, they are from Texas.
I know Jeannie and Nick.
They would like to know: is there any scene that you filmed in season 6 that stands out for you?
Any scene in season 6? Well, the only time I appear in season 6 is in the finale.
Oh, okay.
So. To be honest with you, that at the time, that was only the 4th set I had ever been on. So I was still pretty new to doing this. So I would, I got selected as the leader of that roadblock.
Right.
And man, I tell you, that was very exciting for me, just simply because that was my intro to the Walking Dead set. And then, of course, when we introduced Bossman, Negan, almost every major character was out there for that. So being selected to interact with the main character, that's probably the most standout for me. I remember I was very nervous the first couple of takes, because for one, it was freezing cold out there, so dexterity in the fingers kind of sucked. And Mr. Cutlett's holster in his sheath for his knife and his pistol were the snaps were kind of corroded or bent or whatever.
Right.
There was something prohibiting them from opening easy.
Okay.
So the first couple of takes, I don't think he was too impressed with my abilities. He was just kind of looking at me like, "Come on, dude, get this done." I'm stuck, and my fingers are freezing. He's just looking at me, like he was not very thrilled.
Right.
But so we finally got it situated to where he didn't have to snap them. I could just roll up, yank them, toss the knife, back up, do my thing. So. That was probably the most standout for me was getting to interact with Michael Cudlitz and do that, disarm Abraham for the finale. That was crazy. Especially we didn't realize that that's who was going to be taken out first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So after I saw season 7 premiere, I was like, oh shit. So I was the last one to interact with him before he met Lucille.
Right.
So that's kind of pivotal, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
If you think in those terms,
Okay. All right.
I hope that satisfied their question, and I appreciate the question, Jeannie and Nick. So that's good stuff. Did they have anything else, or?
No, yeah, I got a whole bunch of questions in here.
Okay.
I just have to look through and see who they're from.
Okay.
Linda wants to know. Now, Linda's out in France.
Okay. Hi, Linda.
And she's here, right? She's she's here. Linda,
awesome.
Yes, Linda is here. Gay's here. We got right now. Obviously, like usual, we have our UK people, we have our France people, the US people.
Excellent. Well, welcome to you all. Thanks for taking the time to check me out on here. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Where is the next one? Okay, so Linda wants to know. She wants to know, do you think Negan lost the war in the last 10 seconds for Carl? And if you were Rick, would you have let him live?
Ooh.
Yeah, she asked good questions.
Those are great questions.
Listen, you got about another 7 from Linda, so and they're all
Okay.
they're all going to be amazing.
They're all thought provoking.
It's engaged. That's good.
Yes.
Okay. Do I think Negan lost the war for Carl?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think he underestimated what was going on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second part was, if I was Rick, would I have let him live?
Yes.
So what was the second part?
Yes.
No. I would have taken him out like a cheeseburger from the drive-thru, dude.
Okay. I like it.
I would have exterminated him if I was Rick, of course.
Okay. All right. So Rick would have, if you were Rick, you would have just wiped him out, and and you're saying no, he didn't do it for Carl.
I don't think so. I think Eugene's power play there was totally unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think he would attack like that, because he wouldn't be able to know what the outcome would be if he just, hands up, okay, I'm done. I mean, he might have been, taken out anyway. So that would be a pretty ballsy gamble. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to real quick, with the whole ammo exploding thing inside the weapons.
Oh boy,
what'd you think about that? You don't have to say anymore. I already got my answer.
I thought it was that war raged on for all of season 8, right? And it did end pretty quick and pretty abruptly. I figured it would have lasted a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That final showdown.
Yes.
I think I was anticipating it last a little longer, but it was an interesting twist.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'll say about it. So,
okay.
But as soon as he started staring at that, projectile that was popped out a little bit, I was like, here it goes.
Right.
So, figured there might have been something up with that, but
Yeah. And real quick, Daphne's watching. She's tuning in. She says hi.
She's from.
Hi, Daphne. How are you?
Daphne's from the Netherlands.
Netherlands, that's right, yep.
So
she does the coolest fan art, man.
Yeah, she
that is
does.
I love her stuff. It's awesome.
yeah.
Her edit of you is actually what we use for the event picture.
Yep.
We always try to put those in there.
And I want to say that Daphne, actually, I don't. Apparently, when I loaded it up, something I guess happened to the photo, because I don't know if hers was. I think hers was like a little bit darker, and I think what happened is it loaded it up lighter.
Wow.
But it still came out amazing. Everybody loves it.
Yeah,
So,
cool.
and I mean darker as in like darker. You know what I mean? Like grr. It's kind of like darker. Did I get the point across? I don't know. Don't ask.
I think you did.
All
I was
right.
tracking.
So next one from Linda is, she says, after sowing terror. Hold on.
After
Showing
terror.
I think it's spelling error. After showing terror everywhere as a savior, do you think that the saviors would begin to cultivate for themselves?
It's possible, I guess. I think they kind of start self-sustaining in the comic, don't they? They have to kind of, there's sort of a reconstitution phase where they have to kind of start fending for themselves a little bit. But if I recall, I'm not completely caught up with the comic. I recall that they were starting to work together. They were a little more amicable with the other communities, as far as like willing to trade resources versus, hey, give us half your shit, type mentality.
Right.
So, I think, they're more than capable of being able to do their own legwork, so to speak. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they do have their own workers. They have their own people who had their own jobs. So, and at the end of the season, you see them, a glimpse of the sanctuary with, some of the people, like, you had Tara there, and I think it was Rosita, and, they're at the sanctuary and they're bringing supplies. So I think you do see some of that. So this is a good lead-in question that Linda has is, with Negan in jail, and the death of some of the lieutenants that he had, do you think it's the end of the Saviors as far as what they used to be, or do you think that the community will survive without Negan? And kind of, do you think there's any kind of backlash brewing? Like, do you think that everybody's willing to play nice in the sandbox, or do you?
Man, she's got some great questions.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that probably some of us were there out of fear of reprisal if we didn't do what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some of those folks might not have wanted to live under those type of circumstances anymore. You might have a few loyalists that, they might try to get a little uppity.
Right.
It's really hard to say. But I think, I don't know, just kind of the way the last season ended, it seemed like everybody was kind of willing to go all hands to sort of rebuild and get on with it,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So to be honest with you, wow, she's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, and in my opinion of the whole thing, did half of those people even want to fight?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question.
Right.
I mean, were they there just because they didn't want to get, their face burnt off or, kiss Lucille? It's...
Speaking.
I think that's going to be like one of the biggest conflicts you'll see in season 9 is kind of like how you put it. Was that there'll be like these people that want to conform to the alliance between Hilltop and and the survivors, Rick's group. And I think there will be a group of loyalists who are going to have some kind of resistance to that, and the remaining saviors who want to conform to that are going to have to try to keep them in line to not damage that alliance.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be one of the biggest conflicts you'll see in season 9. I really do.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see moving forward. So
I don't mind me. I don't mind me. I'm getting caught up in our chat section here. And remember how I told you about the women that like to come and participate in the chat section?
I get a little bit.
We can get a bit off the rails sometimes.
Well, no, because we have.
Go ahead, defend her.
I'm not going to defend her. So Lucy Papworth is a UK resident.
Hi, Lucy.
You know that they speak a little bit naughtier than we do at times. Like for them, some words are just everyday words.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, they drop it like some people drop. Okay.
Right. So, for instance, and look, William this guy is a gentleman. When I mean gentleman, he is a gentleman. So for me to even ask this, Lucy, is really, and I know it's not a terrible thing, but
we try to be professional.
She has a request for you, William, and she wants to know if you could say moist for her.
Didn't she get somebody else on this too?
This is her normal
Almost
routine.
Everybody. No, you don't have to. You can deny to say it. It's fine with me.
Well, that word doesn't bother me, man. So I'll say it, as many times as she wants. So here we go. Are you ready? Moist. Was that good?
Ryan hates it.
Oh, God.
Do it one more time for Ryan. He loves it.
Look at me, Ryan.
I don't want to look you in the eyes.
This is for you, Hoss.
Oh, God.
Moist.
I think it's great. It's always like trying to build up the courage to ask the person.
Now that we've already gotten to this point, we have to do our other normal request.
No.
What?
Oh,
what's the other one?
Pie.
Oh, Pie? Is Pie here?
No, Pie's not here, but I want to get it for Pie.
We're gonna do it for Pie. So, Pie is in Finland.
Finland. It only took us 6 months to figure that out, but yeah.
Well, to remember it.
Well, remember rather, yes.
But we call her Pie because her name is like a P with like the letter and then the things above it,
it's
and
like
a bunch of other stuff.
And it's like the 2 dots above the I.
Yeah. So we call her Pie, and Pie always wants to know if our guest loves pie and what's their favorite kind of pie. So, do you like or love pie, William?
Now,
yes.
Before you say that, we did have Steve Coulter
Yes.
on, who played Reg Monroe.
Wow.
And he had probably one of the funniest things. So I don't know if you want to try to top that, maybe, and have a competition going. I don't know.
No, I did.
I don't know what he said, so I wouldn't even know what the baseline for it to be a competition.
So you would say that you're a pie lover?
Yes.
All right. So
I just go ahead and tell you which ones?
Sure. What kind of pie do you love?
Pecan.
You like pecan pie?
Yes, it's kryptonite to me, man. I can't walk away.
Now, and I bet, and you're in Georgia? Are you in Georgia?
Yes, I am.
So that's where pecan pie came from, right? I mean, am I wrong? That's the. Is it?
I'm not really sure of the lineage of pecan pie, but
I want to say it's definitely a southern thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Georgia. I know Georgia's peaches and all that shit, but I'm pretty sure pecan pie originated somewhere near Georgia, if not in Georgia.
I thought it was Georgia. I really did.
That's a good trivia question. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah. Someone's gonna believe me. Someone's already doing it right now.
Nice. I got you. I also like key lime, apple, cherry, blueberry. So let's see. That's what, 5?
Okay. So, yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah, you're up there.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Screw it. I like them all.
All right. He's a fan of every kind of pie.
I like it.
Yeah, dude. I can't really. Pecan is my favorite. That ranks just a little bit above the other ones, but I would not turn any of them away.
What? So Thomas O'Mara wants to know, what kind of pie goes best with your Guinness?
Oh, yeah, he would know. Hey, I appreciate that one that you bought me there, Thomas. We shared a couple of pints when I was down there. So,
see, this is the shit I didn't get to do. I'm so upset.
But I feel like you had a different but equal experience. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, even though you didn't experience it in a certain light, you experienced it in another light that nobody else got to experience.
The next one, I'm going to do a lot more behind the scenes stuff. I want to spend more time behind the scenes with everybody, having a Guinness.
Sure.
An Irish car bomb, maybe.
I would do an Irish car bomb.
Ooh, no, not this guy.
The set.
I'm getting too old for that shit.
Oh god, Irish car bombs are scary because you lose count. They go down so easy you lose count.
The point is not to lose count. So.
Yeah. Well, to answer his question, I would have to go ahead and say pecan if I had to.
I was gonna say pecan would probably be amazing with a Guinness.
Yeah, because the rest of them, I think it would probably be just a conflicting flavor.
Gay says cherry pie with Guinness.
Cherry pie would get
it gets the tartness from the cherries, maybe. A little tart cherry kind of sweet thing going on there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm trying to picture it. So
yeah,
who knows, man? I might have to get crazy and check it out.
Well, if you decide to do it, just send a couple photos out there, and we'll
do a little bit Facebook Live or something.
Yeah, we'll see you having your Guinness and some pie, and we'll know how it goes.
Awesome. Well, Guinness is definitely my favorite beer.
Okay.
Of all. So
you look like you need a nice.
The other ones, but
yeah, yeah, you look like you're a type of guy who likes a heavy, rich beer.
Porters and stouts is what I like to stick with.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but Guinness is my favorite.
None of that light crap.
Yeah, I can't do that, man. Unless it's free. If it's free, I can do it.
Not my favorite, but I will drink it.
Yeah. Not if you're hanging out with us.
I'll drink Guinness. I love Guinness. Guinness is my weakness.
If you're hanging out with us and you pick up a Bud Light, I'm going to let William beat you up.
Nah.
Oh. I'll just laugh at him.
Well, it's he beats me up and laughs at me every day. So
you make me sound like he makes me sound like I'm some kind of demon.
But if you're whipping up on him, I don't think I want to tie ass with him. And here's why. Have you ever heard the phrase, you don't want to screw with a guy that's had his ass whipped 100 times? Man, that means he's tough. He can take it. No, I'm not interested in that, man. So you're good, Ryan. We'll keep it civil, brother.
I appreciate that, sir.
Yep.
What the hell is that noise? I don't. Did anybody?
Hey, Ryan. We don't need anybody getting moist about stuff. So.
Oh boy. That was great. That was good timing. I like that.
That was a nice little segue.
We're gonna dive right back into the questions before we really derail.
Too late.
Yeah. Let me see. Another question from Linda. She says, "I read somewhere that you are a fan of Ric Flair, a famous wrestler. Have you ever gotten into wrestling?"
Not professionally. You know, just as a spectator, used to be parked in front of the TV for Monday Night Raw and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my boys, we got to meet Ric Flair 2 years ago. He was at a convention in Atlanta, Days of the Dead. So that was pretty cool. I was very excited to meet him. So, yeah, I mean, I've been a fan of the Nature Boy since I was a kid. So
yeah.
How could you not like Ric Flair?
He gets you fired up, man.
He does.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite gifs that they have, like those, gifs and videos and stuff like that,
is
just Ric Flair doing,
yeah.
Like, I could watch him do that for probably a good solid 30 minutes and laugh hard the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That enthusiasm is contagious.
Yeah. Linda wants to know, what is your opinion about Shane returning? And so, you've been a fan. Take a step back for it. You've been a fan of the zombie horror genre forever. So, were you into the Walking Dead comics, like at an earlier stage, and kind of like followed it, like, or so? I mean, did you know about all these characters?
Around 2000, probably 6 or 7, a couple of my buddies that are really heavy into comics, they were telling me about them. They're like, you should check these out. And I was like, well, I'm not really, a comic guy. I kind of got out of it, when I was a kid. But they were like, no, you should really check these out. They're well written. They finally talked me into picking up a couple of issues. So I read a little bit of them prior to the show coming out. So when the show finally did air, and I started like watching it, I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's that comic. My buddies were telling me about. And I kind of revisited them to see, refresh on the characters and stuff like that. And then once the show was on and I was really invested in it, then yeah, I mean, I actually ended up picking up the compendiums when they came out.
That's what I did.
So I could binge read, some people binge watch Netflix. I binge read the compendiums.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I was a pseudo fan before the show, but, once it kicked off and I could kind of, start making comparisons between the two, yeah, I was pretty much fully invested at that point. So
cool. So I mean, all right. So then, talking about Shane, I mean, it's no secret we've all heard that Shane John Berthold makes a return to the series.
When was that news? I'm not trying to play dumb. I really.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Is he?
This past week, right?
Well, it's been about a week or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was spotted on set. He's been hanging out in Sonoya a lot recently.
Yep.
Wow, here I thought I kept track of stuff pretty good. Apparently, I've been under a rock then, because that's news to me. Well, if that's the case, then I don't know.
I like it. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't have an input on it, to be honest with you.
All right.
So is he actually being cast or recast or something? Or
I mean, personally, I don't know. I think a lot of it
just shooting something like in Atlanta and maybe just popping down to say what's up.
I see, and I've honestly been thinking a lot about this too, because obviously, the whole Andrew Lincoln thing's out. With stuff about him leaving. So now that I guess he's been seen in town and stuff like that and around the filming, a lot of speculation is that Shane will be seen in season 9 as well, which is leading everyone to think that maybe flashbacks occur or whatnot, with, I guess maybe with Andrew's death or him leaving the show, whatever is going to take place. Once again, it's obviously, it's a little bit of speculation, but,
sure.
It's true. I mean, he does, he's an actor. He could be just there.
Just hanging out with friends of his.
Could be just there just hanging out.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a ton of stuff filming up in Atlanta, so I mean, he might have just been in the neighborhood. I don't know. I can't speak to anything, knowledge-wise as to why he's there, aside from maybe just visiting. So
okay, yeah, I mean, and that's I mean that's the way it goes. I mean, I haven't really. I've been on board with the whole Andrew Lincoln thing because he's never made it a secret that he hates being away from his family.
Well, he's devoted a lot of time to us, man. I mean, whatever he decides to do. I mean, a lot of people are saying he's leaving. I mean, until I guess AMC or a representative from the show or himself says for real that he's gone,
right?
We can only really treat it as rumor, But I mean, it's one of those things that if he does decide to go, man, I mean, he's 8 years with us.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful we've had him for that long. I mean, and I don't know, did his family move over here with him, or
I know
temporarily?
It was a temporary thing. They were here for a little while.
The first few seasons with him.
It was either the first few or the middle. In the middle, somewhere.
In the middle? I thought it was towards the beginning. But regardless, I think they were here for like 2 years or so.
Yeah, and I don't think it wasn't a permanent thing.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I mean, either way, it's still a long time to be not with them consistently. So
yeah.
Like I said, I'm just thankful we've had him for as long as we have, and I wish him well, and whatever he chooses to pursue afterwards, I hope he gets to spend some good quality time with his family. So I mean, like coming from the military, I deployed a lot,
right?
So I can understand if that is his feeling, where he's coming from. So but I mean. We'll see it when we see it, if we see it. So.
And that's the thing. Like I know a lot of people have bought into it, and I mean, I've had to defend I've defended the fact that if he wants to go, respect it and let the guy go, because
absolutely, man.
What more you want to do?
He's just I mean, he is definitely the heart and soul, man. But like I said, if he's got to go, he's got to go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I hate it because just between me and you, I've been Team Rick the whole time.
Oh.
As a fan. So.
Oh, okay.
As a fan.
We actually have some questions that always always asked. So, do you consider yourself Team Rick, Team Negan, or if you had the choice to choose a side, do you think you would have went Savior or Alexandria or Hilltop or Kingdom?
If I had a choice, I would have gone Savior, and here's why I say that: because in 2014, I actually met Robert Kirkman at a book signing in Sonoy, and I had I got him to autograph something for me, and I told him. And at the time, I didn't know how the whole casting thing worked. I just kind of threw it out there. I was like, hey, when and if it's time to cast Negan in the Saviors, I'd like to throw my hat in the ring to be one of the Saviors.
Okay.
And like I said, I was dumb and naive. I didn't know that he had nothing to do with casting.
Yeah.
But I gave him one of my business cards, like this, goofball, and he took it graciously. He was very kind about it. But almost 11 months to the day from when I had that conversation with him, I was on set shooting my first scenes, which was the roadblock for Walking Dead. So while he might not have had anything to do with casting, I put the good vibes out into the universe and asked for it. So ask and you shall receive.
Yeah. Okay.
So kind of a cool story.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I mean, and that's it. We love like hearing stuff like that. So I mean, as far as personal experiences, you've had like on set, we always like you hear that there's a lot of practical jokes that go on and stuff like that between some of the people. Any like funny stories or anything like that? Something you've ever witnessed or even been a part of?
Most of the scenes that I've been a part of, normally there's a main or a supporting character getting taken out. So most of it was pretty serious, but we did have one particular scenario that was pretty funny. We were shooting out at the satellite outpost when we all got rounded up and captured.
Yep.
And we're out there standing in the field. They got guns on us and everything, and Lenny James is out there, and he's got his gun to Josh Michael. And as one of the takes were happening, right at the end of the take, this big butterfly comes floating by right in front of Lenny's face, and he kind of broke character for a second. He's like, oh, what a beautiful butterfly, and just kind of like traced it with his fist, kind of following this thing away. So that was a little bit of laughter that day. It was just kind of funny to watch him, admire the butterfly as it was floating by right after drawing down on poor Josh there. So.
I mean, I know that a lot of you guys, you develop, you have like, friendships and stuff like that and everything. And we see that, some of the Saviors I know down in Atlanta have gotten together for viewing parties and stuff like that. So, I mean, any good close friendships you've developed with any of these guys and, hanging out wise, stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple of them that we're doing some indie stuff. That's about the only thing I can really say at this point.
Okay.
So stay tuned for information on that. Yeah, there's quite a few of them I still talk to, even if we haven't, been on set together for a long time. There's some really cool guys that are out there. So yeah, definitely, we got some pretty good rapport.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, we have CJ's watching right now.
Oh, okay. What's up, CJ?
Yeah, CJ's here. Blaine Blaine comes in every now and then when he's got time because he works late and stuff like that. JD Hone, he's
okay.
Sometimes he pops in and out.
I met those two guys for the first time in Savoy a few weeks ago. So
that's got to be fun. I mean, even though that's the thing, like. For as large as this show is in the cast, it's filmed in such secrecy at times. It's, to me, when I was in Sonoy and I found out that Sabrina and Jason met for the very first time in Sonoya on stage next to me.
Yeah,
I was blown away. That was just, to me, I was just like, obviously Jason had gotten more of a prominent character towards the end, and Sabrina was getting more and more film time and stuff, and then just to find out that both of them had met for the very first time there. It really, and we hear it all the time. It's like, oh well, I know of them, I never really got to really work with them or meet them, and it's just I guess maybe, I don't know if it shows on like what a large scale the show might be on, or it's just how secret it is, where things are done in these steps where it's like, we only need you, you come, and then they piece everything together, and then you see it as a whole, and then to find out that like you never even saw them, what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, I mean, I've never met Jason either. I've never met him.
Wow.
Actually, I missed him at the bash as well. So
yeah, that
so
was
one of the things. I'm sure I'll get to meet him. So
I mean, that makes sense. You guys were never in scenes together because Jason was always his own like
thing.
Satellite group, and
yeah. But I don't know. I guess I think of it differently. I think of it as like, well, it's a TV show, so it's like I guess I just always think that people are just always hanging out. I don't know.
They just always run into each other.
Like, well, yeah. I mean, even if I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to do this, but like, even if I wasn't part of the filming, I just want to go chill. You know what I mean? Like, and hang out. But they're probably like, you can't be here, so go home. Kind of thing. I don't know. But I just feel like I'd want to be like, just, hey guys, what's going on today? I don't know. They'd be like, get stupid out of here. He shouldn't be.
Anybody
here
died today?
Yeah. Hey, who dies? I want to know. Like stuff like that. Man. Yeah. Yeah. That's a no. We don't worry.
Trust me, we're not very professional, but we're more professional than that.
Yes,
we won't ask you that. Don't worry.
So who?
Well, I wouldn't tell you anyway.
No.
So.
Well, yeah,
we always have a running joke.
Yeah, we usually either when you start getting into that kind of stuff, it's funny because it happened with Peter Zimmerman and James Chen, and we're talking to them, and we were getting into certain topics, and all of a sudden Peter's feed dropped.
His Skype call just dropped.
So we're like, well, AMC police got him. You know what I mean? Like,
AMC was monitoring that feed and they just cut it.
Yeah, no. So we have like that little running joke and stuff like that. But, we know you guys obviously can't ever divulge anything. Yeah. And then the running answer for everybody is everybody dies. And, so it's like, yeah, it's true. Everybody does probably eventually die. So it's a correct answer in a way.
No, I'll just remain silent on all of it. That way, silence will never betray you.
He's a smart man.
I like it.
He's a smart man. Let me get back to a question here. Okay, so if the way Linda phrases it, so if Andrew Lincoln were to leave the way that they're saying, do you think the series can survive without his personality? On the show, do you think the show is capable of moving on?
I think it probably could. There's still a lot of strong characters out there.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's, it definitely wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
But I still think that there's a lot of story to be told.
Mm.
You know, in his absence.
If you could think of a leader that would fall into place, who do you think if he were to go, who do you think would fall into place as a leader? And I mean, are you know, because I know a lot of people think that Daryl would be the next lead, but I honestly don't see that. I really don't.
You know, that's a good one. I would think, you know, Michonne would be
that's
a
my
pretty solid selection.
That's my choice.
I would say either Michonne or Carol.
Yeah.
Well,
Carol more of a Kingdom Knight now.
Carol, but you know, she tried to do the whole isolation thing there for a bit. I'm not sure she'd be interested in that.
Yeah.
You know, I think Michonne would be solid. You know, possibly even Maggie. You know, I mean, I know that I've read some stuff online. There's some people upset with the way her character was last seen, but
right.
You know, that's you know, the whole Negan thing is still a pretty sore subject for her. So you know, I could see where she'd have some spite about Rick's decision. So
yeah, and I mean, I'm trying to figure out how many attempts she's going to try to make on like killing Negan while he's in jail. So you know, there's definitely a bad taste left in her mouth over this whole situation.
Sure. Yeah.
So there's that. I gotta scroll through. Scroll up a little bit. There's some questions up here I want to get to.
Okay.
In the feed. Anything? Oh, Lucy wants to know, what do you think about, you know, at the end of last season, that conversation with Maggie, Jesus, and Daryl. What do you think about that whole little triangle there? The Daryl kind of betraying Rick thing.
Is he betraying him, or is he kind of just sort of doing a double agent type thing?
You know, it's kind of how I feel. Yeah, and I don't know, but that's the thing. I don't know if it's Daryl or Jesus playing the both sides.
You know, I'm just hard pressed to think that Daryl would turn on Rick like that. You know, I mean, yeah, he's been pissed at him before. Yeah. You know, but I mean, they've kind of worked through it. You know, but yeah, I think he might be there just more as sort of in an unofficial referee capacity.
Right, and that's the thing. I mean, Rick is the closest thing he has to a brother. You know, I mean, obviously after Merle, you know, left earlier, but so like Rick has kind of like fulfilled that role for him. You know, and they fight like brothers. You know what I mean? They have their issues, stuff like that.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there's that. I have a question from Heather. Heather wants to know, out of all the scenes that you've been a part of, were you ever able to make a suggestion for a small change or tweak that made it into a final shot?
Is this just for Walking Dead or any scenes in general?
I'll say for anything in general.
Okay. Well, then the answer is yes.
Okay.
Shooting 31, when we did the RV abduction scene, there was you know, at first it you know, we're flying around doing, you know, all this physical stuff, and it was a little clumsy at first.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a little bit different path that needed to be taken for what I was doing. And, you know, after Rob called cut, you know, he got us all together again. He's like, all right, so, you know, we need to switch it up a little bit. So I made a suggestion about, you know, what path I should come from and how I should grab this individual. And he liked it. He's like, yeah, you know, that sounds great. Let's run it, you know, half speed. And if it looks good, we'll keep it.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up actually keeping it. So I don't know how visible that was in the actual scene, but yeah, he was, you know, because I mean, you got to look at the safety piece of it too.
Right.
You know, when you got guys my size and bigger out there flying around, you know, attacking people that are, you know, fighting for their life. You know, you got to kind of be careful with the choreography of that. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, he ended up liking what I was doing with my character, you know, at the beginning of that whole scene. So, yeah, he was pretty open to it. So, yeah, it was a good question, though. Thank you for that, Heather.
Yeah, a very good question. Let me see. In the comic book, after the war, Dwight is the new leader of the Sanctuary, while in the series, Dwight was banished. In your opinion, who will be the next leader of the Saviors?
Ooh.
That's a Linda question for you.
Okay. Another good question. I'm trying to remember who do we have left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Regina still there?
Regina.
Or was she taken out?
Regina's the one with the real short hair.
Mm-hmm.
Was she taken out? I think she was taken
I
out.
think she was taken out.
What about Arat? Is Arat still there?
I think Arat's still alive.
still there. Lindsley's still there. What's her name in the show?
Oh, Laura.
Laura with the
Laura,
barcode.
If anything, I think that Laura or Lindsley, I think she'd be the leader of the Loyalists.
Yeah.
Just because of her behavior.
She's pretty feisty.
Yeah. And if you look at the end of that episode of the finale, there, she gives this little smirk back at like Tara and Rosita, like she's planting something or something. She just kind of looks up and smirks, like, "I'm gonna kill you." Yeah.
And just the way she acted with Dwight.
Either one of them, maybe.
Okay. Everyone watching saying that they're all still alive, so that's good to know.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I feel ill prepared now, so my apologies, folks.
No. Hey, how do you think we feel?
We're the interviewers. And,
yeah. We watched this show. I mean, but then again, it was months ago, so looking forward. Cons, appearances, projects you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
What you got coming up?
All right. The next convention I have, I believe, is in August. That's a Fandom Fest up in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I've got Cult Classic Convention in Bastrop, Texas.
Okay.
That one's a horror con. That one's pretty interesting. The guy that actually bought the gas station from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the promoter for that one.
Oh, very cool.
So he's bringing in a lot of the actors and actresses from all of the Texas Chainsaw movies there. And I've been friends with the guy for several years, and he, graciously invited me to his convention. So I get to come in there in that capacity and hang out with the Texas Chainsaw crowd. So that's pretty cool.
And what part of Texas is this again?
This is in Bastrop.
Okay.
I think it's pretty close to Austin. I'm not sure which direction.
All right.
So, so I'm pretty excited about both of those. And I just actually got booked for one in Minnesota as well.
Okay.
Up in St. Cloud, I believe. Called Lion Con. So
is there one in Virginia coming up?
Scares the Care. I was there 2 years ago.
Okay.
For trying to promote 31 a little bit. So yeah, that's a really good one as well. They do some really good stuff for people. Someone
had mentioned earlier in the chat that they were going to see you. I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry, but I saw it briefly in the chat saying that they were going to see you in Virginia at that con.
Yeah, I didn't get picked up for that one this year.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's a great convention.
All right. I don't know. They had mentioned some about maybe.
Or maybe when I was there last time.
Maybe. Oh, maybe that's what it was. It was something.
Yeah, like I said, I was there 2 years ago. So,
okay.
All
right.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great one to go to, though. They do a lot of charitable work for people that have some stuff going on. So,
I you know what, and I saw you took some photos with a princess recently.
Yeah. That was interesting. That was out at Wichicon.
Okay.
Wichita, Kansas.
Right. All right.
Yeah, the photo ops people wanted a kind of a Disney Walking Dead mashup.
Okay.
So we did the Belle and Belle,
I get it.
Party.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. That was a good time. She was a good sport about that. So
I'm gonna take that photo and I'm gonna send it to Rachel.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I'm gonna see if I can get something done for you. That'd be pretty cool. I'm gonna take if you don't mind, I'm gonna take one of those photos that you posted online, and I'm gonna send it to Rachel and be like, hey, here's a little William Bell for you, and see, because she's the one who does all the Disney stuff. So that would probably be really right up her. That would be really cool. up her sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah. Sometimes she pops on too. I don't know if she's been in the chat tonight though.
I got you.
No, but so all right. So so as far as let me see. No, you know what, Lucy, shut up. I'm done with her right now. I'm done.
What word would Lucy like me to say now?
No.
It's an inside joke from today.
All right, so there's a. Oh goodness! So I got a phone call today. Okay, from spam. It was a spam number, and I look at it and it says that it's. I look at Ryan and I go, I'm getting a phone call right now from Dripping Springs, Texas, and.
Is that kind of like Moist Springs?
Pretty much, yeah. So,
I'm sorry, Ryan, not Dry Springs?
I like that.
Is that better than boss?
That's politically
okay.
correct. I like it.
So Betty Crocker, not dry cake mix.
Yeah. There you go. Not moist cake. Unmoist cake. It's not really moist because it's unmoist.
That didn't solve the problem, though, boss. You still use the word moist.
But I put un in front of it.
Yeah. That's a good one. Solid. Did that connect? It sounded like it connected.
No. He's mad that I have like ninja-like reflexes. Every time Ryan throws something at me, I block it, and he just looks at me like this. He's like, I hate you.
Very quick.
Yeah, I try, Let me see. That was me. I thought he was coming back again. Too scared. Wilani. Okay, so Wilani asked. There was an Instagram. She was asking. All right, so we got that answered.
I got you. No, sorry, not this year. Maybe next year. Send it to Joe.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Joe's the promoter. If they request, if there's enough people that do that, that helps me out too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
And I get people asking all the time, when are you coming here? When are you coming here? I was like, well, I can't necessarily show up without the invite.
No.
But if people in that area, if they'd be interested in that, they can hit up the con promoter for whatever local con and let them know, hey.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like everybody who always watches, we tell you, if you want to see someone at these cons, you're not on Twitter though, right? You're not on Twitter, are you?
No, I got on Twitter last year, man. I got fed up with the toxic environment, the mudslinging and stuff on there. It just got to be too much, man. So
don't worry, we know. So it's Facebook and Instagram.
Yep, I got Facebook and Instagram.
All right, on Instagram you are Bell Horror, right? Bell
2015. Let me check.
Bell Horror 2015. Yeah.
Yeah, friggin'. That's bad. I don't even have my own shit memorized in it.
I know it's Bell Horror, but I don't. 20.
Yeah, hang on a second. I'll get it to you there.
So, if you want to see William at anything, you know what to do. You basically, I would say you would at him with the con attached and say, hey, I would really like to see, William Bell, WF Bell at, this con. And you just keep beating them over the head with it, until they're like, hey, this guy really is in demand. We should get him to come. So
to answer your question, it's Bell Horror 2015.
Okay, that's on Instagram.
Yeah, that's Instagram, and then the Facebook is it's similar to that, but I think I have them reversed. I don't know why I did that, just to be difficult to myself, I guess.
It's okay. Nothing like changing it up.
Yeah, it's at Bell W 2015 Horror.
Okay.
So I wanted to make it as confusing as possible for myself and everyone else. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, man. I like to party like that.
Thomas says he wants.
Please do that so he shuts up. Thomas.
Thomas says he wants to see you at the bash at his bash, Lucille's bash in Tampa, and that's right before the cruise, the Walker Stalker cruise that they're doing.
Man, I'd love to go, man. What are the dates? I've seen some stuff blowing around on social media about it. I haven't had a chance to really read it, just yet, but.
I'm sure Thomas will respond with the dates for you any second now.
Okay. Yeah.
And now if that's something that's going to happen, I might just have to go down to Tampa now. God darn it!
Driving 20-something hours down to Tampa.
Well, at least I can fly to my brother's and then drive from my brother's to Tampa. So that's not.
And bring not dry Ryan with you.
Yeah, we'll bring not so.
I'll be really dry in Florida.
No, that's the problem. No, that's the problem. In Florida, you'll be really moist.
Extremely.
Yeah, you'll be a super absorbent, moist person in Florida.
You will hit unimaginable levels of
so what you're saying is I would be no, you know what? Never mind.
Thomas says it's February 20th, 2019.
Okay.
So we got some time to plan it. Yeah.
I'll put that on my calendar and see what that looks like around that time.
I'm going to put it on my calendar too because I would love to go down there. And I mean, I won't be able to go on a cruise, but just
I'm not going to be able to do the cruise.
That's a. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong year. Oh no, I'm in the right year.
You're right year,
dude. That's
a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday, bro. Really a Wednesday? Oh, Jesus, Thomas. No, because the cruise I think leaves Thursday. It's like a 4-day cruise, so you leave Thursday and you come back.
This is the weekend type thing.
Yeah,
you come back like Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, you come back I think Sunday. So.
Okay.
But yeah, all right. So, I could afford to miss a couple of days of work. It's fine. Vacation days.
You think?
There you go. That's the spirit.
Yeah, vacation days.
You think Bill would approve us both not being at work?
No. But we're gonna do it anyway.
Yes.
So there's that.
Thank God we do scheduling.
It's true. So, do you have anything else on the back burner that you've been working on?
Just a little bit of indie stuff. I got, like I said, the stuff that I can't really talk about just yet. We have shot some footage for a trailer that we're going to be pushing soon.
Okay.
Then I've been in talks with another indie director that has been doing some pretty cool stuff in the horror community.
Right.
I'm hoping to work with him. And once again, I can't really disclose anything on that, but there's definitely open dialogue with him at this point.
Very nice.
It's just, he's in pre-production with his stuff. So.
All right.
And then I just recently, like I said, been in talks with Strangeland Oddities.
Yep.
Apparently he's immersed in some projects that I'm very interested in as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And as I'm allowed to blast that stuff out, I'll do it on my page.
Yeah, and I mean,
but I'm definitely very respectful of people's intellectual property and not, sharing stuff prematurely.
Absolutely. And as you get a hold of information that you can release, don't reach out to us because since I know that you might not be on a platform that we're on, we can extend that hand for you and blast it for you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Share a trailer for you, photos, and anything.
Awesome.
We got you on that 100%. So
awesome. Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, I certainly appreciate that. So
absolutely. We appreciate you being here, spending time for us. Yeah, absolutely. We always pay it forward.
Yeah, man, definitely. Well, I'm glad we can finally make it happen.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So we're gonna let you go. We kept you for an hour and a half.
All right on. Well, it was a fun hour and a half.
Absolutely, we appreciate it. CJ says goodbye. By the way, he said he got to get out of here. But yeah, no, just making sure that wasn't a question for you. Yeah. All right. So everybody, we're gonna let you guys go. Hang out with us for a minute after we disconnect from everybody. You want to say good night to everyone, goodbye to everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you everybody that tuned in. Hopefully it was fun and entertaining for you. Definitely enjoyed talking with Chris and Ryan here. So real good dudes. Stay tuned. Follow my page if you don't already, and Instagram. Remember they're flipped up backwards and confusing. So. But yeah, just thank you so much for following me and being interested in what I do. So it's a dream come true for me actually. So, yeah, it's awesome. I hope to get to do more. You're
gonna be back. I'm gonna say somewhere in season 9, but with us somewhere through.
Oh, I'll come talk to you guys. Sure.
Yeah. So
great.
Yeah, we'll just bring you in. After something or some whatever.
Sounds like a plan, man.
Trying not to make it too weird. But we're gonna bring it. But we're gonna bring him back. I do.
You're making it strange as moist over here, dude.
I do weird well. So, all right, everybody. You guys be good. Stay safe out there. You can stay moist too if that's your thing. And
we don't judge.
Yeah. We don't ever judge.
We're a very forward-thinking podcast.
Yeah. You guys behave. Peace out. We will talk to you guys, and we'll give you an announcement for next week about what we have going on. And once again, thank you, William, for being here. Don't hang up. And peace out, everybody.
Later, guys.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Don't get caught with your pants down. I know they can still hear me. That's why I'm teasing them. because they're just waiting for me to slip. They're waiting.